and welcome to the Lifestyle Refresh Podcast. I'm Stephanie, and I'm so excited to have you here. This is a space where we explore what it really means to live a balanced, healthy, and fulfilled life through fitness, mindfulness, resilience, and everything in between. I created this podcast to share with you my journey, all the ups and downs, and the lessons I've learned along the way. My hope is that it inspires you to show up for yourself no matter where you're starting from. Each episode will dive into topics that will help you refresh your mindset, habits, and lifestyle so that you can step into the best version of yourself. I'm so glad you're here to join me on this journey. Let's get into it. Have you ever felt like you're not enough, even when you're giving it your all? Right? I know I have put myself in this situation so many times, like time and time again. So let's talk about overcoming self-doubt and stepping into your confidence. This is seriously such an important lesson and tool that we all most of us need to learn from, right? And if you're always comparing yourself and never feeling enough, no one else's, this is your self-doubt. That's what's stopping you. That's what's holding you back. Nobody else is going to come fight through that for you. You're the one that has to face it and change it. But it's so important to actually do the work and do so, because when you do push through self-doubt and overcome that, you build your confidence, right? Self-doubt holds you back from recognizing your abilities. When you overcome that, you strengthen your belief in yourself, which boosts your confidence, helps you tackle challenges and seize opportunities. It encourages growth, keeps you out of your comfort zone, pushes you, helps you take risks. It improves your decision making. I love that too, right? Doubt clouds our judgment. When you overcome that, that's when you get clarity. You trust yourself more that you're making the right choices. Again, it strengthens resilience. Come back to resilience. It enhances relationships. So the productivity, so many things, but you have to face that doubt yourself head on to get through that. We all want to be more confident, don't we? Right? We want to know our purpose, have passion that drives us. So I've learned so many strategies that have helped and changed everything for me. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. We're going to explore why self-doubt happens, practical tools to build confidence, and how to break free from the mental loop and your limiting beliefs. That's what's holding you back. So this is what we're all going to go through today, right? We are going to learn how to build our self-confidence and overcome self-doubt. And why does self-doubt even exist? A lot of times it can just be rooted so deep. You know, if we have a fear of failure or rejection, whether it's actually failing at something new, being judged for it, or just not meeting someone's expectations, It causes you to second guess yourself because you want to protect yourself. You don't want to disappoint anybody or bring up any shame. A lot of times, just if you compare yourself to others, we're all human beings, right? We're all social. It's instinctual for us to compare one to another. We do it with everything. It helps us evaluate where we stand in a group, right? Strive for improvement. But it triggers self-doubt, right? Whether you've had even past experiences like childhoods, anything. It's like that seed gets planted in. We don't even realize it, right? If you're a perfectionist, have high standards, you don't meet these sort of unrealistic expectations, that's when self-doubt comes up, right? We're always questioning whether we're good enough. Even just knowing and being aware that you're moving in a direction that's heading out of your comfort zone, all of a sudden that can trigger self-doubt for you or somebody. There's so many reasons and ways doubt pops up in our lives. So we have to be more aware so we can recognize these moments and make the shift. And we'll get into a personal story from you all. I'm sure I could get deep into it and find so many areas that it's popped up, but just some obvious ones in like career life. I'm a hairdresser and I've been a hairdresser for 15 years and now I'm a newly certified personal trainer. But I remember doubt popping up 15 years ago when I started doing hair. I mean, I was 18, 19 and I was given scissors, right? Like that's intimidating. That's tough. That's hard. I overcame that. I pushed through. There's so many things that if I didn't push through that looking back now and I was too afraid and I didn't get to spend the last 15 years being a hairdresser, oh, that's heartbreaking to me. I love what I do. I am so passionate about everything that I do, but I love doing hair. And even when I see newer girls fresh out of school, like it brings me back instantly. I can remember that feeling of being terrified. This was people's hair, their color, you know? Now flash forward 15 years and I'm, still older, wiser. I've learned more things. I'm not as fearful. I'm not 18 starting out at a new career. I've been working with the public, doing all of that for so long now, being an adult, And now I'm starting out as a personal trainer in my 30s and doing a group class for the first time and having a solo one-on-one training session with a client was equally as terrifying as when I was 18 starting doing hair. I doubted myself. I can't do this. I haven't done this before. We tell ourselves all the time. But you can. And especially if you want it, you have to go for it. You have to push through that doubt. Right? So does this sound familiar to you? Have you ever caught yourself thinking, what if I'm not good enough? Or what will they think of me? Right? How often do you compare yourself to someone else and feel like you fall short? Don't be hard on yourself for it, right? But just notice. Notice when these times pop up and ask yourself why. All right, we're going to start getting into some strategies to help you overcome self doubt. So, when was the last time you celebrated something you accomplished? Even the small stuff, like just getting out of bed in the morning on a hard day. You don't want to, right? Even these small things, we have to remember to celebrate the small stuff. Confidence grows when you recognize all progress. Starting my page, even just posting one piece of content was a win for me, even if it wasn't perfect. So, celebrating small wins is such a huge, actionable strategy that you can use to help overcome your doubt. And obviously, overcoming any fear or doubt that you have in your head, we're gonna be talking about the mindset. You're gonna have to work in there and shift your thinking a little bit, right? Reframing negative thoughts. That's huge. Huge for overcoming self doubt. And it's been just practicing more positive thinking has been such a huge transformation in my life. It really is like the biggest thing. Just practicing, shifting how simple you say it. You stop and you say, I can't. How many times do we say, I can't do this? You need to start shifting that thought. Instead of saying, I can't do this, I'm learning to do this. You're not lying, right? You're not saying the opposite, but you're learning. You're growing. People make fun of me, but I will always try to find the positive in a negative situation. Honestly, it's like I love the challenge now for myself. I really do. And I always find it. Sometimes it's more challenging than others to pick it out, or you're really going to dig for it. But I always end up finding one. So we've been celebrating the small wins, reframing our thoughts, right? Shifting the negative ones, finding the positive. But things don't happen unless there's action, right? So even though you have the fear, even though you have the doubt, you need to take the step to move through it. You need to take action despite all of that. Here's a quote for you. Action breeds confidence. It's not the other way around. All right, so now I want you to think on something for a second. What is one fear that's holding you back recently? Really, really think about something. What would your next step look like if you acted anyways? Even if you're feeling self-doubt now, pause this episode, please, for a second. Write down one thing that's weighing on your mind. All right, and another strategy for overcoming self-doubt is to build your support system. Find the ones in your corner. You know, they're the ones cheering you on. The ones that are always there, even when it's tough. Lean on them. Let them help you see your strengths. Because sometimes we can't even see it on our own. And if we can't and we feel stuck, that's the first thing you need to go to. Trust me, when I did it, it helped me see that I'm not alone. I didn't realize what I had until I leaned on my people. Help me light the way. And not just people also. specifically uplifting people. I think we should comment on that too. Right? They might not be the people that have been in your, given corner of life. Might not be the same people. We evolve. We all are growing. You kind of grow through seasons of people too. And that's okay. I always try to remind people of that. It's not a big deal if you've outgrown old friends or family. If your vision isn't on the same path and your spirits aren't aligned in the same way, a little distance is not a problem. I think we all need to be reminded of that. But you want to find the people who fill your cup, per se. You've all been around someone whose energy sucks the life out of you. And the people you've been around that you feel energized, right? They've brought life back into you after spending a few minutes with them. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with more. Those are the people, the ones that uplift you. They've got your back. They're always cheering you on and supporting you. Lean into those people. And to wrap up our overcoming self-doubt strategies, there's embracing imperfection, right? I am a recovering perfectionist, as I like to now call it. I actually have a topic for that to be another episode in itself here. But it's so important to try and let go. If you do struggle with this, letting go of the need to be perfect. And let me tell you, it's been so hard, but you gain so much more accountability, way more authenticity, and you're so much more relatable. And you help yourself overcome your self-doubt. Win-win. I know it can be hard to break free from those inner thoughts that tell you you're not enough. But really ask yourself, how much of that is true? Because most of it's not. Think about a time when you surprised yourself by succeeding at something you didn't think you could do. What can that teach you about your potential? Right? Use those moments. I even want you to just pause here for a moment and ask yourself, if you weren't worried about failing, what's one thing you'd try right now? I just really want to encourage you all to really stop and take these moments to reflect and be more aware of your feelings. Like when you do have self-doubt, like taking that time to recognize it and think it through is so important. It really helps you break that cycle of negative thinking, helps you challenge all of your limiting beliefs and build that confidence. You want to acknowledge it. That way you can shift your mindset from fear to growth. Open that door to personal development and success. We shouldn't be afraid of it. But it's really about these moments of stopping, recognizing, and reflecting that give you more of that clarity to keep moving forward. So even just a recent situation for myself with self-doubt, I just had my son's follow-up doctor checkup appointment, his yearly visit for the doctor's office. And within the year, he has been diagnosed with ADHD, and they were trying to push us forward in the direction of medication. And he's young. I wasn't ready to take that step with him yet. I wanted to explore what other options there were. So, about that time of the diagnosis and that encouragement, I was recommended a alternative doctor to work with, and we started going that route, and it's been about 6 to 8 months, and we have noticed a big difference, and the school has also noticed a big difference. And it could be also his age and that he's maturing more. It could be a combination of it both, but we are seeing positive change, and as well as the school. So I had this yearly follow-up visit, and I was a little anxious knowing that it may not be received the same way from his primary care doctor. But I went and followed up and gave her all of the information, and she really just couldn't comment or speak too much on it. She didn't really react or do anything wrong. It's really, I think, just comes down to a difference of personal opinions on the subject, which is not a problem. But it kind of brought me back to a moment of that doubt of myself, of like, oh, like, am I like doing the wrong, like, different thing? Like, does she see it that way? But it's just like the doubt came from a fear of judgment, obviously. But the fact that now I have these tools to kind of stop and recognize that, and then give myself the clarity. What you guys have been working on and doing has made a positive impact. So don't be afraid to keep moving forward. This is just your fear in you of someone else not thinking it's the right path. And that's not wrong. It's just a different opinion. But that growth for myself comes because I sit, I stop, I recognize this moment. I have this conversation with myself, and I move forward. I let go, because that's a big part of it too, right? But I use my tools. I kind of frame my negative thought, right? I still went through with it. I still was confident talking to her. I took action despite my fear. I told the story to the ones I love. I know this journey's not going to be perfect. Not everyone's going to agree with it. Not everyone's going to think it's the right way. What matters is what I think is right for my family. I went through everything. I gave myself peace on the subject. But that's how we grow. These are more of the actions and the thoughts we need to have to allow ourselves to grow individually. So remember, reframing your thoughts, celebrating small wins, and taking action even when it's scary. Those are all the keys to confidence. That's it. Right? Okay, so this week, write down one fear or doubt that's holding you back, and one step that you can take to face that head on. I truly want to thank you all for being here and allowing me to share this moment in this space with you. I'm so excited to keep moving forward with this, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you all. If today's episode helped you at all, share it with a friend, please, or tag me on Instagram at lifestyle_refresh with your biggest takeaway. I'd love to hear about how you're overcoming your self-doubt. All right? And stay tuned for more. We will be talking about balancing motherhood, business, and self-care. Woof! All right, until next time.